Welcome to the Albion TV interview series. I am the Shozen one, and I am joined today by Mogdone. Mogdone is one of the best streamers we have in the Albion Online directory, hands down, easily the
I
best
really appreciate that.
ventriloquist we
Thank you.
have. We don't have anybody near his talents as far as ventriloquist. I was watching him earlier. His
What?
lips don't even move. It's freaking amazing. No, we Mogdon and I have been working together now for several years, on and off Albion. And when we decided to start doing these interviews again, and I saw that Mogdon was one of the available names, I was like, sign that man up for an interview. It is time to hear how things are going with our resident
Thank you so
wizard.
much.
Yeah,
Thank you so
Mogdon.
much.
So, let's get right into it. How are you doing today? How are things going in the world of Mogdon?
Honestly, great. More chaotic than ever. First of all, thank you so much for the very warm introduction. Greetings, travelers. It wasn't about you, Vizir. Of course, it's about me. It's a bring your grandma to work day. Shut up. This is Vizir. I decided to bring him on as well. He's a very important character in our stream. It's great to be here. Oh, yes, I'm so important. I got locked in a closet. Just temporarily. Tom Cruise was there. Shut up. This is why I don't bring Vizir very often. Well, to answer your question, it's been going great. Very chaotic. My daughter was born like 3 months ago. We're happy parents. It's been fun. It's been great fun. Lots of poop. Yeah, you don't imagine how much those little things poop.
So
But
much,
I
so
guess
much.
that's
Yeah.
how does that fit in here? It's a magic. Maybe it is actually. Maybe it is. So yeah,
Wormholes,
great to be here.
wormholes.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, actually yes. Oh, what? I'll explain later. So yeah, great to see everyone here. Great to have an opportunity to ramble with my grandmother. Oh, shut up. And great to just see the chat moving, which is fun. Always fun. I don't know what else to say.
No, that's all. That's good enough, Mark. And so, what we're going to do here for those who are just tuning in for the first time, what we are going to do is I'm going to ask Mogdon a few questions. He's going to answer them, but in between those questions, we're going to play arenas. We often play arenas here on Albion TV, and we thought it would be a great way to loosen people up and get things moving in a smooth and easygoing way. Oftentimes when we would do these interviews, we do them for an hour. Mogdon, you've done a couple of them with me, and we'd get
Oh
into
yeah.
the weeds a little bit. People would start going off into some strange areas. So I was like, maybe if we put a timer on this, we can keep it on point a little bit. We'll get those questions done and just move on to the next one. And so what we're going to do is we're going to ask a question. Mogdon will start to answer, and then we'll queue up. And then Mogdon's got a few minutes to answer that question before we move on to doing some 5v5 arenas. Yeah, and my cat
Sounds
has
great.
made an appearance on stream. She's
Oh,
having a
can I
day
eat
today.
the cat? You already ate our cat, Vizir. You cannot eat another one. You hear that? Wait, you talk too much. They put a timer on you. You'll be nerfed. Shut up, I've not been nerfed. It's good to have a timer so that you keep things organized. Nerfed, I say, nerfed. All right, sounds exciting.
All right, so as we get ready for this next one, why don't you tell us a little bit about Vizir and maybe where did Vizir come from? How did this guy get started? Because
Oh,
he has evolved quite a bit over time. That's clear.
is it really an evolution? I don't know. I think we're evolving, but backwards. Well, I'm just Mogdon's grandmother. You're not my grandmother. Vizir it has a very long story. Basically, he used to be an artifact that we retrieved, and due to some dark circumstances, you're just messed up. Hey, aren't you happier to be a skull rather than a hat? Ah, fair enough. So yeah, he used to be a hat. Due to some unfortunate circumstances, he became a skull, and right now he is
Did
as annoying
that
as ever. Look
circumstance
at my hood.
involve a washing machine by any chance? What happened to the hat?
It's really a long story. Oh yes, it does. Yes, it does. This son of a witch just tried to wash it. Yeah, that was the first mistake. That's when I learned that showers are not for Albion people. Oh, you took it too far. Not necessarily. Hey, look at what happened last time I washed my hat. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's how Vizir came to be. It's a very long story. It's a very, very, very long story behind him.
By the way, you're playing on Europe mostly nowadays, right?
Oh yeah, mainly Europe. It's the server that gives me the best ping.
Right.
But it's not necessarily only that. I also really enjoyed fresh starts. Like even before the European server came through, we've done a bunch of zero to heroes, even hero to zeros, funny enough. For real, like we're doing a challenge in which we're basically stripping our character off of everything, throwing everything away or selling everything or just
Yeah,
giving it away.
didn't you delete Mogdone?
Oh yeah, no, that was Grantar. The West server character was deleted. That's why I'm
Yeah.
playing on this low spec alternative.
Why don't you tell us about your welcome to Albion moment? What was your moment that really introduced you to Albion and made you go, "Oh, this is my place"?
Oh, Mogdone has no security. No, but the welcome to Albion moment is basically when you first die Vizir. So
Yeah.
that was also when I happened to actually quit the game for the first and longest time. It's kind of a long story. So we were doing faction warfare. My wife and I basically just started playing. We were super excited about the game. So my welcome to Albion was like this. We started playing. We saw all of those PvP guys doing PvP in the black zone, and it looked super interesting to us. We wanted to do the same thing, but naturally, every single time I was trying it, I was basically just donating sets. A walking chest, you are Nocturne. A walking chest. Pretty much a walking chest. And so at some point we decided that, you know what, it's time for us to gain some silver. And the way we gained silver was by doing faction warfare. The problem is that we were doing faction warfare 24/7.
Really?
So at some point, oh yeah, like genuinely every time we played 5 hours per day, 6 hours per day. I was even doing some extra at some point. Like we had a lot of free time. This happened throughout the pandemic. And so, free time was not really a problem. And at some point, we managed to get enough money to afford ourselves, so both me and my wife, spectral diabors. And well, my wife was very cautious with it because, she's the brain of the family.
Mhm.
But I wasn't so cautious. I thought to myself, man, this is a pig that goes invisible. That's pretty much immortal, right? Like how are gankers going to kill what they
Like,
don't
yeah,
see?
how can they get
Yeah,
if they
like
can't see it? Yeah, right.
they don't see me. It's like John Cena. How can you fight that? You know what I mean? So yeah, turns out the answer is very easily. They can kill whatever they don't see very easily. I died in the first map. I was so mad. Now, even though, yeah, this wasn't really my first death, but this was the death that I'm never gonna forget. Like I remember at that time, premium was like 5 to 6 million silver, something like that, maybe even cheaper.
Yeah, it was
And
back
the
in the day.
Spectral
Yeah.
Diabol, yeah, and the Spectral Diabol was like 4 million silver. Like it was pretty much that or premium for me. Like those were the options. And so I chose to buy the Spectral Diabol, and then I lose it. I still remember the south. Let me see what's the name of the map. I don't remember the name itself, but I remember the location. So it was in Dustlight Fen, so southwest of Thetford, right next to where the first bridge is. And now the map looked different, the bridge next to outpost number 1. The map looked different back then. It wasn't exactly the same layout, but there was like a bridge somewhere over there, and that's exactly where gankers caught me and killed me. Because you see, normally we were going around the edge, so we didn't see any gankers. But this time I had my invisible pig, so of course I'm immortal, I go straight through them. Yeah, that was one of the most Albion moments of all time for me.
Yep. That's a pretty Albion moment right there. That's pretty
Yes,
good.
yeah.
Interesting answer for an Albion moment. I like that.
Yeah, I was basically like at that time, I think I was like a 1 month player. 1 month in real time, not in actual game time. We were playing like some nights 2 hours, some other nights 6 hours. Those were the days. Those were the days. It was very fun. And I remember how frustrated I was when that happened. Like I could not play anymore. I just quit the game for like 6 months. This happened right before corrupted dungeons were added. And I think also right before roads were added. I'm pretty sure they were actually added in the same patch. So yeah, right before that. And then I came back in the faction warfare update. I think it was.
That was a
If I'm
good
not
update.
mistaken, yeah.
And I hear we're going to
It
get
was
more
great.
faction update again. Not necessarily
Hopefully.
soon, but eventually we're getting another rework on faction warfare, and I'm really excited for that. I hope we
Oh
get to hear
yeah.
some of it in the next 6 months or so. It's something that's going to take a while because they have to start at the ground level
Yeah.
and work their way up. But really looking forward to faction warfare rework,
I'm
especially if
super
that's
looking forward for
Go ahead.
Hellgates. I think Hellgates
Oh,
are
the
gonna
Hellgate.
be really.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
There's been
Lupac
some
has some great ideas.
speculations. Oh yeah, I think we're getting a battle royale type of thing. That's
Really?
kind of what it feels like. Yeah, there was an image in the teaser, let's call it, basically the roadmap video that they uploaded, and they showed the Hellgate, And you know how Hellgates have stars appropriate to the number of players that they can enter in. So 2v2 Hellgates
Yeah.
have 2 stars, 5v5
Yeah.
have 5 stars. Well, that
Yeah.
one Hellgate had 1 star.
Oh.
And it wasn't like any side covered or anything like that. So I'm not sure what else that could be. Now, is it going to be like a full battle royale, in the traditional sense? I don't think so. But a solo type of Hellgate with the area closing in, maybe some buffs,
Well, I
similar to
mean,
the Mist buffs.
that map already works well for that. The design of it is to have lava come up from around the outside and make the play area smaller and smaller, just like your traditional battle royal. So,
Pretty
you'd
much,
love to see it. And I hope we get something like that. I don't know what we're going to get. Speculation is running rampant in the world of Albion. Always does. It's a lot of fun. I have always wanted to see some kind of battle royal. We ran a few of them. I want to say in 2019 was the last time we ran one. We had a player, Fun Stealer, who used to organize them for AlbionTV, and we had a lot of fun. It was a great time. We would put a bunch of items in boxes, and you'd go into the zone just naked, items in boxes, and you'd try to get the best build that you could by looting other people and stealing stuff from boxes, and it was really neat. We had a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I'm kind of sorry that I didn't actually get to experience the old school Hellgates. I've always wanted to experience them. I was technically playing when that was a thing. Yeah, like the original. Or I'm not sure if it's the actual, the Hellgate that basically had the mob that you had to kill, and then that mob would spawn the Hellgate itself. That one, and you were able to enter solo and stuff.
Yeah, that long time ago when the mob was out in the open world, and people would literally gank the Hellgate portals.
That was
and
so
Hellgate
nice,
mob,
but I never
and
got
it
to
was
experience
like a danger zone around every Hellgate. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
What are you usually doing on your streams?
Almost there.
When
Nowadays, a whole lot of different things. This week we had like an experiment week.
Oh.
Lately, we've been doing, funny enough, a lot of corrupted dungeons. Like, I'm really, really enjoying the gameplay loop of corrupted dungeons. But it's always kind of the same thing for me. Like, I love them. Then I die to like a meta build. Then I hate them. But I cannot stop playing them because I'm just addicted. So I get to playing them a little bit more. And it's always that, one more. Come on, just one more. And then after this cycle repeats about 5 times. Yeah, exactly. After this cycle repeats about 5 times, I go into some open world. Pretty much.
Well, are you winning or are you losing against the meta builds?
Oh yeah, we're winning. More often than not, we're winning. But sometimes one thing that annoys me the most in corrupted dungeons are resetters. And after a fight with a resetter, this is one thing that annoys me. And then what I do annoys the chat. If I see a resetter, I just don't play. After they reset like 5 times, I just give up on the fight. I'm like, yeah, all right, just kill me. I want to go back to the city now. Like, yeah, no, just take the win.
This Sorry.
And besides that, we've started doing a Dungeons and Dragons series that's themed around Albion. I actually have a really, really fun announcement to let you guys know about a little bit later. So basically what we started doing, after building the milking inn and all that stuff, I decided that I don't just want this to be like a background, pretty much. So we started developing things around the milking inn. Milking inn, for those of you who don't know, is the tavern behind me. And basically, we started making some things that are, according to the theme of the tavern, which that's why we have a lot of board games on the background. I'm a huge board game nerd. And recently I figured out a way to bring the board games that I love into any game that I play. And one of those is very much Albion. And so what we're doing, we started a D&D campaign. For those of you who don't know, that's Dungeons and Dragons, a heavily simplified version of it, to the point in which the only rule is that you can do whatever you want, but the harder the action, the more you have to roll on a D20 dice. D20 being a 20-sided dice. So if you want to unsheath your sword, that's a roll of 1. You don't have to roll too much. But if you want to just one-shot the boss, well, that would be a roll of 18 or above, and so on and so forth, the maximum being 20. So it's very, very, very simple. Recently, we started adding some more back-end complexity so that it doesn't become repetitive. And the whole point is that we have just one character, and that one character is controlled by every single person in the chat. We have a text-to-speech channel point redeemable that people can redeem, and they just tell me in the voice of the character what they actually want to do with that. If it helps, I actually have an example for it. I'm not sure if I can send it to you guys. I'll send it on Discord, and you guys will decide if it's appropriate or not. I've started uploading those clips on like a separate channel. We started like a side channel pretty much. Oh wait, I accidentally pasted 2 links over there.
Yeah,
I meant to
I
paste
can't.
this.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I sent my wife the link to the stream so that she can watch things and let me know how it went at the end. So that's why there was the Albion TV link over there. But yeah, it's pretty much a
Milking
very
in.
simplified version. The
Okay.
Milking In, yeah, that's the name of the second channel.
Mhm.
And
Is
we're basically
the reason
uploading
behind
shorts over there.
that safe for work? Can we hear why it's
Oh
called
yeah,
the milking
everything
in?
is safe for work. Oh, why it's called Milking In? Well, this whole thing started as a joke about 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, when I started basically making my background look like a tavern. Previously it was a green screen. Now we started doing the actual real thing. And in the Milking In, we were going there to react to videos. That was the only reason the Milking In existed. Like, we just went there and reacted to videos. And I remember some person said, Mogdone, why are you milking videos? And I was like, you know what? Because I'm in the Milking In, traveler. And
Okay,
that's
I get
pretty
it.
much.
Okay, yeah, no, I get that. I get that. Nope. Reaction vids. A lot of people give that a lot
Yeah.
of crap. But you know what? Sometimes when you're in the middle of an 8-hour stream, you need to break it up a little bit. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's time to milk a video and hit the milking in. I like that. Okay. All right.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
all
And
right.
those,
Bogle is showing some
I
clips
just saw
of
that.
you
Yeah.
playing your D&D Albion. Okay, that's really neat. That's a great way to mix it up and do something different with what you have, so you can take Albion and keep it
Oh,
fresh.
yeah.
That's really hard to do when you're streaming Albion for years at a time. Bogle and I are in our 10th year of playing Albion. So it
Man,
is
that's awesome.
sometimes really hard to keep it fresh and new and keep things like moving forward as a progression. So to see somebody do things like you and what you've done with Vizir and the milking in, it's really cool to see. I love it. I love it. I think it's awesome.
I'd really appreciate that. Thank you. And I guess I can kind of give a little bit of a hint as to what we're doing. I want to make like 2 announcements today that I think are going to be exciting for the community. And I guess I can make one of them right now. So what we want to do with the D&D, there's soon going to be a program that basically does exactly what the program you see in the background right now do. So, allows us to play D&D and stuff like that, but it's hyper realistic. So a
Okay.
really nice looking program. And what I want to do, I want to recreate the whole world of Albion according to the lore, include some events from the lore in an actual D&D campaign that people can play, not just to play D&D, in a very silly way. Like if you watch those shorts that I have on that channel, you're going to see that everything has a very light-hearted vibe. It's not serious D&D, and it's never going to be serious D&D. But we want to incorporate some of the actual lore of Albion so that the people that are interested in actually seeing the lore of Albion can get to experience it in the Dungeons and Dragons format in basically the hyper-realistic way. If you guys want to look into the program that I'm talking about, it's called Menhir. M-E-I, I'll just spell it in the chat.
M-E-I,
I'm
Menhir.
sorry, I'm
Menhir.
not good. Yeah,
Ear. Yeah.
I just realized I'm not good at spelling in English. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Albion does
Sorry.
have lore profit. There's a book about Albion
Yeah,
Online,
Landfall.
actually, and it's what they did was they took the people who played Albion and they put them into the story of Albion and the lore of Albion. So a lot of the early alpha players show up in that book. It's really neat. Here on
It's
Albion
awesome,
TV,
actually.
we try to continue the lore of Albion Online as we think that the players themselves and the actions of the players in the world are the lore of Albion Online. We do the best we can to share that with everybody. And I think Lupac did a fantastic job bringing up some of that lore yesterday on the Histories of Albion show with Lupac. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, let's move back
It's
to
awesome.
Mogdone. We do have a queue ready, Mogdone. I think you have to hit
Oh,
yes.
I am sorry. Yes, I
That's
was
okay. You
all
are
tapped.
fine, sir. You are totally fine. You're doing things. You're making things
So yeah,
happen. You're working it.
with the D&D, what we want to do, first step is going, and this, by the way, won't happen immediately. This is not the first exciting thing. The first exciting thing I'm going to announce a little bit later. It has to do with the community, and everyone will be able to participate. But this will start probably by the end of next week. And what we're going to be doing at the start, we're going to model the world of Albion. So if people want to participate into that,
Okay.
you're going to be able to see Albion through a third-person perspective, actually play through that perspective, because this program is free. Anyone can jump in. And yeah, even though it requires a DM, so a dungeon master, to run, I'm going to be there for 6 hours per day. So, feel free to just hop
Jeez,
on in
that's
and
wild,
experience
Morgan.
it. Yeah,
Not
it's going to
every
be
day,
great.
not
I mean, it's on
every
the
day,
stream.
not every day. Just
Yeah,
some
except
days, I hope.
Sundays.
Okay,
I forgot.
okay.
I
Oh
forgot
wow,
about that.
6
Except
days a week?
Sundays.
This man. All right, hop in on that. I hope that's that's probably gonna be a limited time event. Don't expect that to last another 4 years. Get in now while it's hot and fresh. Now, Mogdone, we've talked a lot about what you do out there on your stream, and that you have some odd, unusual types of content that you do between Vizir
To say
and
the
the
least.
Dungeons and Dragon. It's unique. You have interesting stuff. But what kind of Albion content do you? What is your game of choice here on Albion? What can they expect if they go to watch you? What kind of content are they going to see you playing if they watch you play Albion?
Well, I will be honest, we do all sorts of things. Like today, for example, we've done a lot of open world roaming. Yesterday, we've done a lot of corrupted dungeons. If I was to rank like the top 3 things that you're most likely to see on my stream, 100% there's going to be PvP, but that's going to come in the form of corrupted dungeons. We kind of do them on a daily basis, more or less. I swear I'm not addicted. I could quit at any moment. um, the second
I know the
thing would
feeling.
be
I
open
know.
world roaming. Yeah.
Okay.
The second thing would be open world roaming. Absolutely love that. I like what they've done with the Horizons patch.
Mhm.
However, I'm yet to find the crates. I did not manage to find an
You haven't found
abandoned
the
wagon
crates
yet.
yet. Oh, I've
I
even
couldn't
found
find a
crates,
single
dude,
one.
and I'm barely out there. I
Yeah,
hardly ever go out, and I've already seen some crates. They're there. Yeah, you'll find them.
maybe
You'll
I'm just
find them.
unlucky.
You
I
might
went in the
no, you
middle
are.
of
Like,
nowhere.
trust me. Like they're there.
Yeah.
You might have to go a few zones, but then you'll find it, and then the process kind
Oh
of
yeah. No,
continues.
yeah. No, I've been roaming around a lot, but maybe I'm just unlucky. There's an inside joke on our stream that my client didn't update yet, and so next patch I'm gonna get the crates as well.
Like,
But
you have
so
the
far,
anti-streamer luck, like everybody, all the other streamers have
yeah,
streamer luck, where when they get a roll,
yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
legendary, drop every time, and then Mogdone
Yeah.
gets a roll and he gets the legendary, chest,
Another
but it's
wooden
got that,
log.
yeah, you get
I roll natural
tier
ones.
2
I roll
logs.
natural ones. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Tier 2 logs, tier 2 logs.
yeah.
But I really enjoyed the new mobs that they've added, the Royal Continent guard mobs that are protecting the smugglers. I really enjoyed that. I wish there were more.
Mhm.
So that's one thing that I really love doing in the open world. And then the third thing that you're most likely to see me do are honestly roads.
Roads,
I
okay.
always wanted to get in the roads, but for some reason they just don't click as much. Like for me, I'm a content type of guy. Like I just want to go there and find fights. That's why I sometimes also do the arena. That's why I love corrupted dungeons, and I should have added Hellgates to that. Like I just love this type of instance gameplay that just guarantees you a fight, and you're gonna keep it going. The vibe is gonna be there, whether you die, whether you win. It's just fun to watch. For the open world and roads and stuff like that, even though they're more packed than ever, at least the open world, sometimes you can go with a bunch of minutes, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, even 30 minutes, without really finding a type of fight that you can take, especially since I play a pretty off meta trolling staff build that I really enjoy. It's not good, but man, I really enjoy it.
Well, it's important to play the way you like to play, not
Yeah.
necessarily the way that gets you the most wins. And, one of the things that, I've learned here, by playing a lot of arenas is that a a stomp in arena is not nearly as much fun as a close loss. And while
Oh
I
yeah.
might be
Oh
really
yeah.
heated during that close loss, I'd rather do another one just like that, where I feel like there's an opportunity and I'm yelling at my teammates to be good and to play right and
Yeah.
not suck. Like, I like that, when we have a chance compared to when it's, 149-0, and the only thing I'm doing is yelling at my teammates not to bully tent because that's the only way we can lose.
Oh yeah, that's relatable. That's why I stopped group play. I used to
Oh,
do group
really?
play, but I actually kind of have an announcement on group play that I want to make.
Oh, big
Um,
announcement coming in.
Big announcement coming tomorrow. We're gonna start a group hardcore challenge. We're gonna make a guild on the European server. Unfortunately, it's just on the European server. That's where I play mostly. But feel free to replicate it on any other server if you feel like you like the idea. We're gonna be doing a group hardcore challenge. The rule is gonna be very simple. When anybody dies, they get kicked out of the guild. It doesn't matter if it's a
Whoa,
lag.
Whoa,
That yeah,
whoa.
they just get
Yeah,
kicked out. The
that's
people that survive the
hilarious.
most, oh, it's gonna be great. Like last time we did it, we had like gravestones on the guild island. Because
Oh my
what
God,
I
that's
do,
amazing.
I buy premium, I buy like an island, and I place gravestones over there, and we hold like a ceremony and stuff like that. We have like a speech. The more fame the person had, the bigger the statue or the bigger the gravestone. Some people have
Okay.
like that smaller thing. Yeah, it's really cool. We've done it like about 2 years ago, and people really enjoyed it. This time, however, it's going to be a little bit of a bigger stake because you're going to be locked in the black zone. So, and the way we're going to be doing that is through the journal, because the journal has an achievement if you enter the yellow zone. And also an achievement if you kill too many mobs in the blue zone. So literally, you're
Well,
just going to be able
how are
to
you going to
pass
get to
through.
the black zone without going into the yellow zone?
Well, you just use the portal. So basically, you have the rest area, then there's a blue zone, then the city, and then you can go
Oh,
straight in the black
you're
zone.
right. You're right. Yeah, you're right. You can go into the city from a blue zone.
Yep.
I'm still thinking
And
old
there's just going to
Albion
be.
map in my head. Like,
Oh man, I would
it just
love
never
that.
leaves. It never leaves.
I just.
You have the original stuck in your brain. But okay, yeah, that sounds like a
Yeah.
really neat option. Like that'll be a fun way to play the game. I'll have to tune into
I
that.
think.
Well, Mogdon, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed hanging out with you for the hour. It was a
It was
good
great.
first return to the Albion interview series.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
we know when we can see you again. We're going to see you tomorrow at 9 UTC. You're going to be doing some great content there, that hardcore group activity, which I think is going to be a lot of fun for the viewer. Please do head over there and watch that tomorrow if you haven't already signed up and
Thank you so much.
are a follower of Mogdon. Go over to his stream right now, follow it, sub, do whatever it takes to make sure that you're there tomorrow to watch these adventures, because it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. And he also says he's
Oh,
going
it's
to be
gonna
there
be
6
great.
days a week, 6 hours a day for you to play Dungeons and Dragons through Albion, which I think is wild. That's a trip and a
It's
half.
gonna be fun. It's gonna be really fun. Yeah, yeah. I hope you guys will enjoy it as well. Now, again, this part is gonna come a little bit later because we're still waiting for a program to be released that's supposed to release at the end of the month. So we're gonna see how that goes.
Okay, all
But yeah,
right.
thank you
Hey,
so much for the shout out and thank you for having me.
it was a lot of fun. We're going to be doing these regularly. We'll be having more interviews on Albion TV, very similar to this, where people will be coming in and answering questions about themselves in between rounds of arenas with Shozen, which, as you can tell, Mogdon, can be a lot of fun or very, very stressful, depending on how good you
It's
are
fine.
at
It's fine.
fights.
Well, I missed every single one of my cues and I forgot to do the one thing that I was supposed to do. So
It's okay.
I would
You
say,
just had
I
one
would
job.
say a
You had one
-5
job.
out of
You had
10.
one job. Minus
And
10
I
BKP.
failed it. And I failed it perfectly.
So good. It was such a fun
Um,
time. I'm
it
looking
was
forward to
fun. It
doing
was
this
great.
again. Thank you for being our first guest back. And
Hey,
we
thank you for
will
having
be.
me.
You got it, man.